Ever since I started to consume more content from self-help and online business gurus on YouTube, a principle that I've started to adopt from them is the idea of breaking up your yearly goals into quarterly ones. And yes, I do understand that this is a concept that a lot of business owners already follow, but I'm not a business owner. I've never owned an online business, yet a physical one, and I've also never worked a corporate desk job that uses this system to organize their work. I'm just a regular ass college student who is still trying to figure out his life. However, there's also no reason why I can't just apply this same system to my personal life. So that is exactly what I'm doing for 2026. I am someone who never really believed in New Year's resolutions. I think it's silly how people wait until the 1st of January to start changing their life when you literally could just start at any time. And I think one reason why New Year's resolutions never work is because they are primarily mostly outcome-based goals. And now there's absolutely nothing wrong with setting a specific outcome that you want to achieve, like making your first money online or even getting all A's in school. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the idea of that. However, I think that there is something wrong with how most people approach it. Because from what I've noticed, the reason why most people quit their resolutions before the second week of January is because they only set outcome-based goals. They don't set any action-based goals. Because there is realistically no point in setting a goal other than the dopamine and motivation from wanting to achieve that goal if you are not planning on what steps you're going to take to actually achieve that goal in the first place. For example, a goal that I've had for such a long time is to make my first money online. I've had that goal for years. And like, I could go back to any of my old journals and I could guarantee you that I've been writing that same exact phrase of make money online for damn near like the past 3 to 4 years. And it literally wasn't until, let me check, until March 17th until I made my first online money. Reason being is that I actually started to map out what steps and what habits that I'd have to do daily in order to achieve the goal that I set for myself. In this case, my outcome goal was to just make my first online money, right? That was the overarching goal that I wanted to achieve. But instead of just leaving it at that, I broke it down into actionable steps. And so in this case, the method that I was using to achieve this goal to make my first online money was making UGC, or user generated content. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically just creating content for brands under a contract that market their product or service from the perspective of an actual user so that it doesn't seem like a traditional ad. So with this business model, my action-based goals were to first find a brand to work with, then to sign a UGC creator contract on SideShift, and then to just post content at the level of production that the brand wanted daily until my first payout. And then before I knew it, I checked my emails one day and I saw my first invoice. And that's just one example, but I'm sure you get the point now. So in this video, I just want to evaluate and reflect on how Q1 of 2026 went for me and how I plan on improving to make Q2 even better. All right, so while we have the Giants game on, we're just chilling, we're just vibing, just journaling, while watching the Giants actually win a game. Like, look at the score, bro. They're actually winning. After that absolutely horrendous series with the Yankees, they're actually beating the Padres. And then Casey Schmidt strikes out. But yeah, we are just gonna vibe and just kind of reflect on my Q1. So for starters, we are gonna go back to my old journal entry, which I did January 2nd, 2026. And I basically just went over like my goals and what I wanted to achieve during Q1. And so we are just gonna go over them and see how I did. For starters, I guess, like my first goal that I wanted to achieve in Q1 was physique progress. Now it's not really noticeable with my shirt on, but I actually have like had some pretty decent muscle gain, but like I'm a very skinny guy. Like I don't know, I've just always been really skinny, and there's some growth, I'd say. And then my metrics to measure this goal was to go to the gym 4 times a week minimum. This is definitely the most consistent I've ever been in the gym, so I'd say that like I did knock this goal out, so that's good. Then moving on to my second goal of Q1 of 2026 is academic success. And really just my main premise with this goal was to just have all A's, which I did. And so let me show you that for proof. So here is my public health class. I have a 98%. Here is my cell bio class. I have a 93%. And then here is my principles of bio class. I have a 92%, which should be a lot higher because I got a 22 out of 25 on our last quiz. And I'm 100% sure that my professor is wrong on some of the questions because some of them they literally just don't make sense. So I emailed her about it and she said that she would look at it. So yeah, that is cooked, bro. I should not be telling a teacher that her grading is wrong. And then for my research class, I am at a 96%. And then lastly, my English class, I'm at a 97. So that is proof. And then I also said no more cramming and no more phoning class right here at the bottom. And I just want to admit that I did not I did not do that. That's on me. And it's also my fault that I'm using my phone in class. That's part of the reason why I still cram, but it's fine. And then for my third goal is just being consistent in content. I said that I wanted to post consistently for 12 weeks straight, and I am pretty sure I did. I think I had a vlog for every single week, if not bi-weekly, so that's good. Then my non-negotiable tasks were to train 1 to 2 hours of deep work and post or prep content. So I would say I did all of that. So I'm actually pretty proud of myself. That's the first time I actually kind of stuck with my New Year's goals. So that's good. And then also just to kind of reflect more on Q1, I feel like overall, it was a good 3 months. Not only did I get a lot of work done, I feel like I was super, super productive. You know, as I stated earlier, I made my first money online. And I also just want to say that that's excluding crypto and money that I made through Fortnite, because this also used to be a old Fortnite channel. So that's excluding money I've made from crypto, which in all honesty isn't actually that much, but I just want to exclude that because that's not really like that much skill that goes involved into crypto. And then I don't want to count Fortnite because it's like just a few dollars. It's like pretty much nothing. But here I made $300 online. I mean, that seems like nothing, but like it's a start. And like in order to get the snowball rolling, it has to start off small. And then eventually it just compounds over time. The small wins add up, you know, and I just want to continue stacking my bread with the money that I make from online stuff. But then apart from the money side, you know, I feel like I've been doing good in school. And then also on the health side, you know, I've been training, I've been getting back into running. I think on this month, I'm on like my most amount of miles on a month in a very long time. You know, I've not really ran long distance since cross country, like junior year of high school, which was almost 3 years ago. That was the last time I actually ran probably more than a mile. So yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of that. I'm trying to get back into long distance running, and that's probably going to be a goal of mine going into Q2. It's to just kind of run more and getting more mileage and getting faster. So that is that. And then obviously the gym has been going good. And then my nutrition and diet I'd say it's not bad. I feel like I've been eating clean for the most part, really just eating junk food when I'm out with friends. But that's really just to enjoy life, which is another thing that I feel like I've been really enjoying life. Like just going out with friends and just exploring the city as what you've been seeing in my vlogs, and really just kind of like just enjoying life. You know, I feel like I have developed a good system that allows me to enjoy life while still getting meaningful work done. So I think that's a big plus. And I just want to continue refining the system over time, especially since I'm kind of balancing a lot. You know, I have school, I have the content stuff, I have just living a healthy lifestyle, trying to get 8 hours of sleep, balancing a 9 to 5. I have school and a bunch of other things. You know, over time, over the course of this year, I just want to continue to refine my systems, refine my lifestyle, to balance all of the commitments that I have while still being able to have fun in life and to make effective and efficient progress in all of these areas that are important to me. So I think that will conclude this little Q1 reflection, and we will probably solidify my goals for Q2 tomorrow morning because right now my camera is about to die and I also want to finish watching the Giants game because we are actually winning. Look at that, 8-3. The Yankee series was not like this, but yeah, this is good. This is actually showing some signs of hope for this season. So I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so I don't know how well this is picking me up. Maybe I should move the camera back just a little bit. But yeah, so I just went ahead and wrote down some important due dates for school on my calendar. That's normally what I try to do. So I got a lot of assignments due pretty much every Friday of this month. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. And then here is usually where I try to write my goals for the quarter. And so I kind of just journaled a bit on what I can expect for myself to achieve this month. So that is what we are going to write together right now. So just like Q1, the main goal that I have is really just physique progress again. So gym 4 to 5 times a week. And then in addition to the gym, I also want to start running again. So that is something we are going to do. So probably run 2 to 3 times a week. And then if you are wondering, this is how I'm breaking up my goals. So goal 1 is like what I said, physique progress. We got gym 4 to 5 times a week. Drink at least 1 liter of water a day, which I have definitely not done today. I probably drank like 2 cups of water. And run two to 3 times a week. And then body weight and protein, which is also a thing I have not done. So that's something I have to get better at for sure. And then goal number 2 is to get my money up. And so if I'm doing my calculations correctly, each paycheck every other week, I should have at least 1,000. So, and then I guess because I work in the food industry, tip does kind of vary. So like baseline, it should be 1,000 each paycheck, and then probably like at most 2,000. Just because the place that I do work at, I do get a lot of tips. Sometimes I do work overtime, so possibly at most 2,000 a paycheck. Probably average between 1,200 and 1,500 within the span of 3 months. That should be like 6 to 8,000 maybe. And then from my UGC, I do hope to like make more from UGC. So my goal, kind of like money that I want to have in my bank account, is 10K, and that's not including like money I've spent, money that I've invested. That's just like 10K sitting in my bank account. So that's my goal. And then I guess like I also want to have like a month where I make 5K in total revenue. I feel like that would be cool because, you know, we all have this goal of like making 10K a month, things like that. But I guess if like it's good to just kind of start off with a smaller goal, and a little more realistic one, because I feel like 10K a month with what I'm doing right now is like kind of impossible. But yeah, I feel like that could be doable if I just keep on grinding, I guess. And then I also want to have like a total revenue of 3K earned from UGC. That, I feel like that could probably happen, hopefully. So yeah, and then I also want to put in more money into my Roth IRA, and then also actual stocks too. So those are 2 things trying to kind of put more money into. I do have some money in right now, but I want to like advocate more of my income into those things. So yeah, goal 3, get money, because I'm broke. Just kidding. And then for my 3rd main goal is to just really lock in on building my career. And what that looks like is just finish spring semester with all A's. Right now I have all A's, so it's just a matter of keeping them. And then I also want to complete 3 research projects. So that's about like a research project a month. I could probably do that. By the way, actually, no, I can do that. If not, aim for more. And then also just stay consistent with content. I'm trying to get more into short form content as well. And yeah, just really keep on elevating the personal brand, kind of. Because the whole point of me making content is to just document my life. Like I've said this multiple times in my videos, like I don't care for the virality. I don't even expect to make money from it. I'm just doing it purely for fun, purely just for myself, so I could look back at these old videos when I'm older and see what I was doing at this exact date and exact time. So Yeah, I have horrible handwriting, by the way, so yeah, don't judge that. That's pretty much it, I guess. Like, yeah, really just these three main goals. I don't know if I'm even holding it up to the camera. And okay, yeah, but yeah, that's that's what I plan to achieve in the next 3 months. So yeah, I guess I'll make a video in 3 months talking about if I actually complete these. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.